Right, this is Marcus Butler, Nathan Bridge and Alex DeVito. This is Unit 6, Sports Development Unit, Task 2. Right, we're going for P2, M2 and D1. Right, Marcus, give me the first barrier to participation and talk about it.
I'm going to talk about religion, target group, Muslim women. Because there are many restrictions on Muslim women who participate in sporting activities. All Muslims must follow rules regardless of any school policies, because in the Muslim religion, women are not allowed, have to be fully clothed, and it has to be like not skin tight and stuff like that. So it would be hard for Muslims who want to like swim, play contact sports such as rugby, ice hockey, field events, so skin cap showing, so it has to be baggy clothes, so it'll be pretty sweaty if you're in like other clothes. This is at all levels, such as foundation up to elite, because all religions can play any level sport. So it could go from primary school to elite performance in any sport. To avoid this, you have to buy more clothing, which would lead to money issues. That's another barrier, if you buy more clothing to cover the areas that are not allowed to be shown. There are women-only gyms that are becoming more popular. However, Muslim women don't really take part, again, due to more clothing. As long as loose clothing is worn with proper head covering, see it's sweaty as well, it's a bit bad, that's why they don't take part. This problem can be avoided, but this kind of clothing won't be practical, like health and safety, if you like caught another participant because of baggy clothing and stuff. You'd sweat more, loose clothes get caught on the participants, but at a young age, Muslim women stop playing sport because of this situation, because of parents' approval and stuff. The barriers for the participants are a lot different to other women, such as communication, different language, like could be other participants not understanding what they're saying, dress code such as health and safety, lack of role models, like nobody to look up to, is it, because not really, Muslim women don't do it. Information like leaflets, posters and other advertisements what would be in their language. Then again, parental approval, which is like fathers a bit strict on the daughters, such and stuff like that, and that's religion.
Right, okay, right, move on to the next barrier then, Nathan. Off we go.
Right, we're going to do facilities. I'm going to do under-18s in a poor part of London. So children / students could live in a less social economic place, and in these places there may not be a lot of facilities to do certain sports that kids want to take up. This could lead to a lack of people playing sports at foundation level, because you need the facilities to play sport in a safe place, especially if they're young people. If the young people are involved, the parents will want a safe environment for their children so the kids can enjoy their sporting experience. Also, teenagers who will want to be moving on to participation stage will need good facilities to train and to practice. This won't happen if there aren't any facilities that youngsters can go to and train. So in the future this could lead to obesity levels rising, because the youngsters will give up on sport and in turn give up on physical activity. Facility problems also linked to money problems, because of obvious reasons. You need money to build and furnish the facilities. So if a less economic place wants to build these facilities, then obviously they will struggle to build them with the money that they have. To get around this problem, the government should give grants to these places where they need money to pay for such things, because in the long run it will help the government, because of less crime statistics, because the youngsters will be more involved in playing sports in these facilities and having fun.
Speak up a bit.
Instead of joining gangs and causing trouble, and that's facilities.
Right, okay. Alex, next barrier then.
We're going to be talking about ethnicity. Sports bodies have long been concerned about attracting people from ethnic minorities to take part in the sport, particularly women. Ethnic groups may experience barriers to participation based on social circumstances such as little understanding or tradition of sport, social or religious reasons, differing values from systems partaking in sport.
Speak up, you got to speak clear on camera.
Little experience of structured sport activities, no role model to follow. Barriers, people may not want to take part in sport activities because they may feel out of shape or uncomfortable. This could be due to participants being racist towards them. Might not be able to communicate with others due to speaking a different language. They may not be getting information due to leaflets and posters, other advertisements in different language.
Right, okay. Right, just make sure you're speaking loud, just so that the...
My next barrier is going to
Assessment.
be age.
Right,
target,
age, yeah, good.
target group, young people and old people, because age can play a massive part in all sports, but it depends what sport it is and how good you are. Such as younger players better at more physical sports such as rugby, athletics, football, and I just like find older people are better at like darts, golf, such as Tiger Woods. He's old. You get Messi and stuff like that, which is young and physically fit. Than Ronaldinho because he's pretty old. Depends on what sport it is really. But it can affect all. Well, it affects participation, elite, but not really foundation because that's more for the younger generation. But you would see it more often in the elite stage because performers end their career, and it's more noticed and more popular to the public because it's on telly and stuff. So you big impact when they leave. Such as Jamie Carragher at Liverpool, he's leaving because he's old. Age is how strong you're equipped and your body is for exercise. For example, peak of age is 20 to 25. As you get older, your muscles gradually become weaker and can affect anyone's performance. As you get, there's more chance of getting injured. That's why you retire, such as Freddie Flintoff in cricket. He was getting old, so he got injured. Major functions start to slow down, and this will affect your reaction time to athletics, so and so. This is just a peak of age. You still can perform at a good performance at any age. It's just that you require youthful skills in some, such as gymnastics. Like you'll need them. For example, Ronaldinho was at elite stage, but he's not the player he used to be. He has got older, and this had a massive effect on his performance. As you can see, it's the younger players that are the best players in the world because they're more developed, stronger bones and muscles. Age will always play a massive part in sport because it's a big situation and you can't stop growing old, so you can't avoid it. You can only work around the situation.
Right, next one.
Disability. The first barrier I'm going to talk about is disability in foundation stage. People with disabilities do face serious obstacles in participation in sport. Society continues to discriminate against handicap and impose barriers on disabled people. Also, it is interesting to know that as much as 3/4 of disabled adults rely on state benefits as their main source of income, so they are also financially disadvantaged, which multiples the barriers to participation because of transport and the cost of getting taught and trained. I'm just going to talk about transport now. This is because venues could be too far away from there to travel, and the modes of transport for them are limited, depending on their disability. There may not be suitable doors and ramps and entrances to buildings. Also, plans for facilities, funding and events do not always take into account of needs of the competitors and spectators with disabilities.
Good.
Sports centres and clubs do not automatically make provision for everybody, including people with disabilities. Governing bodies do not usually hold events for disabled people. People with disabilities may have had little opportunity in the past to develop their sporting skills, so this affects the foundation stage, and also the other stages because they can't develop. This is because of school mixing able-bodied pupils with disabled people into physical education lessons, and this presents many challenges for obvious reasons. Some solutions to help disabled ones in sport, to raise the profile of people with disabilities in sport, to make sure plans for sport include the needs of people with disabilities, to provide opportunities for people with disabilities to take part in sport, to improve access to sport for people with disabilities, to encourage involvement for people with disabilities in international sport, to use all resources and to seek extra finance to make sure sport meets the needs of people with disabilities. And that's disability.
Alex?
Next barrier I'm going to talk about is obese people. In sport, obesity is a huge barrier for a lot of people as they're embarrassed on how they look. Obesity can cause many problems such as heart attacks, strokes, excess body fat, which is BMI, or self-consciousness. It affects all levels of sport, from foundation to elite, as obese people not fit enough to participate in the sport. I've got a small table on what people class as underweight and obese. 18 lower than 18.5 is underweight, and anything higher than 30 BMI up to around 40 is classed as obesity. This will have a massive effect on anyone's sporting performance because they will not be fit enough to keep up with the other participants. Such as Ronaldo is one of the best players in the world until he became big. This had a massive effect on his performance because he wasn't able to keep up with the game. There are many barriers for obesity because it gives a massive disadvantage because they won't be able to keep up with other participants. They'll be uncomfortable in the way they look, such as worrying about what other people are saying. Also, they might be bothered to do sports because they are not very motivated, or they might not be able to take part in high intensity sport because of their health problems. That's obesity.
Right, okay, so just